friends. Today I'm excited to be a part of this challenge hosted by Heidi Sonboul. Heidi is an amazing crafter. I love her DIYs. She is one of the people that inspired me to start my own channel. Heidi also has another channel called Heidi Sonboul Home. It's decorating and cleaning and all that kind of stuff, and it is just, I love it, that channel also. So I highly recommend. Heidi's channels and the playlist will be listed in the description box down below. If you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give me a big thumbs up. So, without further ado, let's get started. I got these plastic flower pots, I believe at Dollar General. They were very inexpensive, and I wanted to kind of give it a whimsical feel. So I painted the colors of the red, white, and blue, wanting to make it a patriotic, whimsical type of flower pot. So I used those colors that I had and just painted. And here I'm just kind of cleaning up my stars. I didn't want them to be perfect, but I also didn't want them to be too sloppy. And I just tried my best to make them look a little neater. I painted these flower pots using chalk paint. I used the Waverly crimson and white, and I used DecoArt's blue. I will list in the bottom exactly what I used. Here I used a gold paint pen and just detailed around the things I had painted. And here they are finished with flowers and everything. I think they turned out really cute. I found this tray at Goodwill for $2.99. I thought it was cute and I knew I could do something with it. And I'm using that same blue that I used on the flower pots, and I'm just painting the whole thing. It took a couple of coats, and I just dried it in between coats using my hairdryer. I had this scrapbook paper in my stash, and I thought it would go well with the tray. And I just laid it down to get my measurements and then cut it to size. And I used Mod Podge and decoupaged it to the bottom of the tray. And here I used my Cricut and printed off words saying, "In God We Trust." And I wanted to put that to the side, on the side of my tray. I wanted it centered, so I used my tape measure to make sure I could get it centered. I wanted to tone down the blue just a little bit, so I dry brushed some of the Waverly Chalk ink just around the edges and the handle and places like that. For a while I've been wanting to make the little round fillers. I didn't have any styrofoam balls or anything, so I used my cat's toys. They didn't play with them anyway, not these, and they still have some, but that for some reason they don't like the Angry Bird ones. So I used some of those and some of the ones they didn't play with, and I found this garland, beaded garland in my stash, and I thought it would be good for the red, white, and blue. Now I started to use this one with the white, but then I realized you're going to be able to see the green through it, and I really didn't want to paint it. So I used the blue ball, and I just fitted the little things in between the petals. I don't know what these beads are, but I had them from somewhere, and I just shoved them in until I got the whole ball covered. And then you saw the little bit of blue coming out and the white, and I thought that was perfect. Now with the red ball, I used this silver. It was a part of a necklace that had come apart. It was just something that had been handmade. So I used what part of the necklace I had. So a lot of the beads had been falling off. So I just wrapped it around the best I could, and then I just started adding beads when I got to the end of this. Now for this little piggy one, I decided that the best way to cover them up is with jute. I figured with all of my little flashy, shiny little balls that I needed something to kind of tone it down. So I used the natural jute. Well, wooden beads is always where it's at. So what's a project without painted wooden beads? So I painted 4 in the blue. I painted 4 in the red, and I painted 4 in the white that I had used on my flower pots. I know you keep hearing my cat Bushy in the background. He's being very mouthy today for some reason. And you're getting a glimpse of the next project also. Now I'm going to string them up using the jute cord, and I just kind of did a very small one and then one that was a little bigger, and I just put the 4 blues with the bigger one in between, sort of like the flag, and then I did like 2 red, 2 white. You can see the pattern now. I didn't realize at the time that I had missed a blue one, but I went back and got it. And then I just made tassels on the end using that same jute cord. And then I just tied them onto the end of my beads. And here is how it looks. I think it turned out really good. Now my little bird and bird cage is going to be for another challenge, and it should be later today, in fact. So keep an eye out for that. But I love the way it looked. Now for this project, I am making a flag from the jumbo craft sticks. I cut off one end to make it straight. And this is just going to be a part of a bigger project. And I just hot glued the sticks to the sides. And then on the back, I just flipped it over and I took one stick and did a crossways, and then I just slanted the cut on these to make an X to hold everything together. And now I'm just going to paint the little blue part of the flag, and I got the edges of it also. And I used this same paint that I used on my flower pots, and I painted the every other one red, and then the middle ones I painted white, and I got the edges on these also. I used my silver paint pen to do the stars on my flag. Of course, I didn't put 50 stars on there, but I think you get the idea. And just like with the tray, I just did a little dry brush with the ink, Waverly ink chalk paint, just to tone down the colors just a bit. And now I'm just writing the Gazaways. My handwriting isn't the best, but it's fine for this, I think. I didn't want to glue directly to the wreath, my flag, so I used a chenille stem and just glued it towards the top so that I could tie it onto my wreath. Here's my wreath. I've had it for years. Where I'm pointing to is the pretty, I think, side. So I'm using lace to kind of give me a background for my flowers. And I'm using this tool and just cutting off little squares that I'll roll up and then just tie up with a chenille stem. And now I'm just going to glue the lace down to the wreath. I just thought it made a pretty base. You really won't be able to see much of it, but it was just a scrap I had. And now I'm just taking the flowers off of the stems and just kind of laying it out, trying to figure out how I'm gonna put it down. After I have it all figured out, I start gluing them down to the lace and wreath. I start mixing in my tool into the flowers. Now I wanted some greenery, and I love the little berries that was on these this greenery that I had. And now I'm just gluing on leaves and berries where I think looks best. And now I'm just making a simple bow. I'm not the best at bow making, but I do get it done. I do need to practice on my bow making skills. And I have just that little bit of lace left from where I cut it off of my wreath, so I thought, why not? I've had this blue mesh ribbon for years, so I thought I would try it out and use it too. I really wasn't happy with my first bow, so I decided to give it a try again. I do think it looked a little better this time. I had gotten the striped ribbon and the star ribbon both from Walmart. They are both cute, but neither one had any wire, so that made it a little bit harder to make the bow. And I have this little silver, I'm not sure what it is, whether it's ribbon or what it's called, but it looked very festive, so I just cut off strips of it and just added it to my bow. And now I'm just trying to put my bow together. I'm fluffing it out and trying to make it look presentable. And now it's time to add it to my wreath, and I just tied it on with the chenille stems. And here's the finished product. I think it turned out very pretty. I really like it a lot. It's been a while since I've made a wreath, so I was very pleased with it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. Thank you, Heidi, for this challenge. And until next time, bye.